What's going on, everybody? So today I thought I would make a little video just to give you guys, I don't know, little tips and tricks, I guess, of what I try to do to increase my sales on eBay, to just get more attention to my store, to my items. Because I see a lot of people, especially with eBay lately, has been having a lot of issues. And I see a lot of people, just upset, mad, complaining, which I don't blame you at all. I have called eBay more times in the past few weeks than I probably have in 12 to 24 months prior. Everything's just been a shit show. And, but sales are, on days when eBay is working, sales are great for me. I mean, I'm averaging better numbers than I have in years. And so I just want to just throw out there some of the things I do, so maybe there's something you can incorporate into your eBay business, your eBay store, to help you guys out. So you don't have to do exactly what I do or anything like that, but if you take little pieces, and tweak them to your liking, it may help you. So I thought I would do that. First and foremost, what I like to do in my store is have diversity. I don't like seeing stores that are just all one common item, and then they'll have another store for another common item. I get all the time people email me and telling me they love the diversity in my store. They love seeing all these items. They love going through, my pages in my store, seeing all these items. I will have people who will buy from different categories and bulk together because I do, a pretty good combined shipping rate. I'm talking US here, but my combined shipping rate on light stuff like T-shirts and hats, I don't charge outrageous. I charge like $1 per item after the first one. A lot of people try to just milk a buyer on shipping to make some extra money when it's actually technically hurting your sales. And like on media items like CDs and DVDs, because you got media mail, I charge 50 cents per each additional item. There's some places out there that charge $1.75 for each additional item. It's like, why? You're hurting yourself there. So I like the diversity. I mean, anything from what I'm putting up right now, before I started making this video, is toys. There's various toys. What else I got here? But then I just put up about 10 albums I took downstairs, records. Some things I'm working on, I just picked up a pair of roller blades. When I'm at the Goodwill bins, I find bags to stuff with the stuff that I'm buying that I can resell. Like that Walt Disney bag, I'll be able to sell that. So what do when I'm there? I stuff it with the items that I bought. So get just diversity. Got a bunch of just hats. Even just names that you wouldn't normally think. You don't have to go for the, that hat don't say, Tommy Hilfiger, so nobody's going to buy it. Lou Fuse Soccer Club. It's kind of weird that I just pulled this out because I just sold a jacket for a local soccer club. I think it was sponsored by Lou's Fuse. And I want to say somebody paid $20 for it. Somebody local bought it from me on eBay. So that brings me to another thing. Start with being local proud, I like to call it. Get items from your area, stuff that's maybe unique, stuff that is unique, or stuff that will move pretty decently. Like I'm in St. Louis area. Cardinals are a huge team throughout the world, and Cardinal stuff moves. And being in St. Louis, I get Cardinal stuff all the time. So I'm constantly selling Cardinal stuff. So anytime I find anything local, I grab it. You're going to get your best support from local people who want to, not necessarily shop local since it's all online, but technically shop local and support local, people who they may have seen around, things like that. So even car dealership stuff, that's what Lou Fuse is a car dealership. Just any little local stuff I grab and it normally sells. So don't, I'm getting ready to make a new video series called Mundane Money, and it's going to be based on, you don't have to get top quality or top name brand items to make money. What else we got here? Bob Dylan songbook mixed with, obviously your video games, and shoes mixed with, obviously Disney stuff, and alarm clocks. Just a bunch of different stuff, because it doesn't have to be, my motto is, when I'm sourcing, is if I can make $10 on it, I'm getting it. And the more diverse, the more out of the wacky, the better. I don't have this huge following on YouTube. I'm lucky if I get 200 views on a video, but yet I have more followers in my eBay store, where I got a little over 2,500 followers on my eBay store, and that's more than some of the YouTubers who are getting thousands of views on their YouTube videos. So that right there shows that there's a following for my store and for the items I sell. So I would suggest just getting a big diversity of things, from toys to music to clothing, and don't shy away just because it's not a name brand. If it's something unique or catchy or local, find little niches and feel those niches. That would probably be where I would start. One thing that I've been doing for about 33 months, I should say, 3 to 4 months, is concentrating more on social media and sharing my items. Social media is free. It's a free platform. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. It's free to use. But so many people are not using them to, it takes up too much time, it does this. Not really. Here's what I do. I've got a Facebook page for the business. I have that linked up to my Twitter account. So everything I post on Facebook will automatically go to my Twitter. So I don't have, there's only one click of a button to share an item on eBay, to hit that, and then it automatically hits your Twitter. Also, then there's the button on eBay for Pinterest. So I put it up on Pinterest. I get emails constantly about the number of items I'm having, people who are pinning them to walls. And on Pinterest, when you share an item on Pinterest, it links you right back to your eBay store. So that's going to generate a lot more traffic there. Obviously, the Facebook will, and the Twitter will. The one that takes up the little bit most of my time is Instagram, because you can't link anything up to it. It's its own individual thing. But the beauty of it is, I have my Instagram linked up to my Facebook business page. So anything I post on Instagram is put on my Facebook page. So I try to treat Instagram a little bit different. If you watch my videos, you know what I do on Instagram is items that have sold for me for $10-ish plus up. I post on Instagram so people can sell. It's like I called it a BOLO smorgasbord. So you can look at my Instagram, you can see what kind of stuff sells. You can go through my Instagram and see the diversity of items that are selling that I sell. And it can give you ideas. So next time you're at the Ben's or thrift store and you see this item, you can think back and go, hey, I saw that sold for X amount of money. I'm going to buy it. I've had one person just today on Instagram tag me in a post that they bought some 8-tracks because they saw that I sell some 8-tracks, and I posted them on Instagram. So use your social medias, and that does take me the most time, but what I do is this. I use my phone when an item, I can't show you because I'm recording with my phone. I go to the eBay app, the notifications. When I see that something sold that I know it's $10 plus, I'll click on it and I'll do a screenshot. It'll screenshot the picture with the price underneath it. Simple there. It's just click, boom, boom. And then, to be honest with you, when I'm in the bathroom, if I'm on the toilet or sitting in the bathtub, that's when I do my Instagram. And then I take those pictures that I screenshotted and I'll share them on Instagram. And create a bunch of hashtags for the first one, copy them, so you can just paste them in every time from there out. So it don't take that long. And if you're just relaxing in the bathtub, it's no big deal. Or you're pooping, no big deal. So use those outlets and try to build an audience that way, because you can build several different audiences through all this media, as I'm trying to do with my Facebook page now. I used to have a big following on Facebook when I did all my shoe videos. You can always see little shoes behind me. I got shoes up here and boxes elsewhere, but I used to collect a lot of shoes. I had over 800 pairs of shoes, Jordans and what have you, and had to sell them off when, a whole nother story. There's past videos for that, but that was a stressful time. But so I'm trying to build up the YouTube now with the whole eBay selling thing. So I'm making a lot more videos and trying to do fun things that I'm enjoying. So hopefully that will organically grow over time. What other things? Like, I'll just give you some quick, numbers. I guess you could say. I don't know if that's really going to help you there. Just the diversity of items. I guess that's really not going to show much. Like, let me go here. Like, if you look in my store, you see t-shirts. I have every kind of t-shirt, from popular stuff to the stuff that you're like, that ain't gonna sell. Well, just generic sayings on t-shirts. But yet, t-shirts, I average, without shipping, $10 an item. Now, my t-shirts I get from the bin store, so I pay, it's, since they raised the price, about 40 to 45 cents a t-shirt now. So making $10 off an item you paid 45 cents for, might as well. I'm trying to think here. And I guess to get back onto the social media issue is, some people may think it takes a lot of time, but I'll give you an example. Like, I just listed a Tommy Hilfiger leather women's vest and pants set. Cool item I found yesterday. The tag's still on them, said $175, etc., etc. Got excited about that. So when you share that item on Facebook from eBay, just click in the little Facebook icon, drop down to your business page, in my case, Urban Picker, and then share it. Anybody, if they search Facebook, they're going to see your item. You don't have to type the title in. It's automatically in the system. I just typed in search on Facebook, leather Tommy Hilfiger, and the third thing that pops up is my listing with a link that goes to my eBay store. That generates a lot of traffic. Every time I share an item, I get anywhere from 15 to 50 views within the first minute or two. Just people on social media. Social media, there's always somebody on it. It's always freaking happening. So the bigger footprint you make for your store, the more people you're going to get into your store, following your store, and eventually buying from your store. Obviously, you've got to create a brand, create awareness to you. If you got a store, create a brand, get a catchy name, make a catchy picture, and just run with it and share it out the ass. The more you share, the more traffic you'll generate, the more customers you'll get, the more money you will make. And you have to do everything, because it's like eBay fights you these days. It fights the sellers. It's just ridiculous, all the issues and the problems and the downtime. I mean, if you watched my past videos, I went, last month I had the biggest day in a year and a half, to literally the lowest day in that same amount of period, just because their site was screwed. So you got to take every advantage you can nowadays to just build a brand. It's almost like, everybody says, well, why don't you get your own website and what have you? Unless you've got a huge following who buys from you, it really doesn't pay because you've already got tons and tons of generated traffic on eBay. So you can share all your stuff that you've put up on your eBay platform on social media for free and generate a whole lot more traffic that way. And it's going to cost you a lot less money. There's a lot of issues going around with the promoted listings these days. In a past video, I ended up deleting it because, you know, eBay changed the whole structure of how they're presenting their promoted listings, and it made a lot of people mad. And I'm like, crap, that kind of sucks because the one reason I promoted everything is because you get to see double when somebody searches for something, and now it's one or the other. So I thought, well, how can I benefit from this? They're taking something away technically, so how can I find a way to benefit from it? And unfortunately, the way I did is probably why eBay did it this way, is because it is putting more money in eBay's pocket, but I am generating a lot more sales. What I was doing with promoted listings before, I would promote everything at a single percentage. I know a lot of people, would just do 1% across the board just to get their double listing. I did 5% across the board just to get, those double listings, and hopefully above the people who are only doing 1%. So what I did is I ended it all. I ended it all for a day or so, and the sales really did plummet, but that was in the middle of all those eBay issues. So it wasn't a true gauge of what was going on. So I deleted that video and thought, okay, let's start fresh and see what I can come up with. I went ahead and started the promoting listings again. What I did this time is I went with the numbers that they suggested for the percentages. And when I did that, my sales took back off. They went crazy. I'm getting more impressions than I ever had before, even though they took an impression away from me. They basically, I guess if you think about it, they cut your impressions in half, being they took 2 to 1. So they technically cut your impressions in half. But me switching from the low, just common percentage to what they suggested, my impressions actually went up. My sales went up. My clicks went up. It all went up. So it's paying for itself overall. There was one other thing I was going to do here. I was trying to think where I was going with this, but okay. But anyway, so you get my point there. So I tried that, and that seems to be working. So I'm going to leave that the way it is for now. And then next, I'd like to go into your store, your items, what you have in there. I see so many people that overprice their items, or they're trying, they're trying to shoot for the stars on every item. I see people who's got an item they're trying to get, $25 out of, but it's selling for 12. Nobody's going to buy that item. And even if you have make offer, chances are they're just going to ignore you. So what I do to save time, I don't check every item to see what they're selling for. I just don't. That takes a lot of time. I try to use a common baseline like t-shirts and hats. I use $12.99 unless it's something I know I've sold before at a higher amount, or it's something that I know won't sell for that amount. Whether it's something that's not too common, or if it's something that's totally unique, or if it's a little bit different, I will adjust the price accordingly during that. Then what I do with my eBay store, if you see my eBay store, urban-picker.com, I have categories for every month of the year. And I use that as one of my 2 categories when I'm listing an item. So then I know and can easily access the items I put up 5 months ago, 4 months ago, 6 months ago, 8 months ago. So I can look at them, break them down, and say, okay, I keep track in my book by the month of, okay, items I put up in January of 2019. In January, I made X amount of money on those items. In February, I made X amount of money on those items. March, April, May, June, July. I know how much money I made from those items I put up in January 2019. That being said, after about 6 months, I'll go in there and go, okay, it's been 6 months. These items are still in the store. I will just do a broad decrease of 25%. You can do that at 200 at a time, or maybe even 500 at a time. I don't mess with that because eBay's goofed up on that area. If you try to edit 500 at a time, even a lot of times 200 at a time, after you're done, it airs out and you have to go in and go back around, and it's a pain in the ass. But after 6 months, I'll go in, I'll decrease everything in there by 25%. You can't be attached to your product. You can't be like, oh, this item is so fucking cool, I don't want to sell it. You're either going to sell it or you're not going to sell it. Now, I have, and that's another note I'll get into, is I have put items up that I don't want to sell, but I know will generate a lot of traffic, so I'll overprice it and just let it sit there. A pair of collectible shoes. I haven't worn these in a while. The Jordan Bins. I wanted to keep these, but this is a popular shoe. This shoe would sell for $1,200. I knew it would generate a lot of traffic. I put it in my store and I overpriced it. I put like $1,500 or $1,700 on it. And it generated a lot of traffic into my store. So don't be afraid to overprice something that is so unique or so popular. I should say more popular, or a limited edition, to help generate traffic into your store. You can do that, but you got to keep your prices shifting. And then also too, if you mark them down, it's going to shift your little, I think it affects the whole algorithms and stuff. And obviously it works when people look up, lowest price and things like that. So constantly be lowering your prices if something doesn't sell after a while. I have, after 6 months, I'll lower 25%. After a few more months, I will drop it another 25%. If it's been up there in a year, what I do is I got a clearance folder. I'll put it in a clearance folder. While I'm putting it in there, I'll drop it another 25%. And then I have a huge sale on my clearance folder. So use the sales tools that eBay gives you. In my clearance folder, it's 25%. So not only has it been marked down 3 times at 25%, if you buy it, you're going to get another 25% off. So play with your sales, play with all that, and keep your prices going down. There's no point in sitting on the stuff. The name of the game is to turn and burn. Get that money back so you can invest it in something else. That $2, $3, $4 you're trying to save by not lowering it, hell, that $10 you're trying to save by not lowering an item, you are losing that time with that money you could make off that item by going out and investing it in something else, something better, something that might move quicker. So it's turn and burn. Just get that stuff out the door. You're going to make your money when you buy the item. So be smart in your purchases. Don't overpay for things. If you go to the bins, you've got nothing in your item. Don't be attached to it. Turning a 40-cent item, 50-cent item into $5 is not a bad thing. Yeah, you wish you could have got 15 bucks out of it. You started at $15, but nobody would have paid that. So eventually you mark it down to $5 and it moves. 40 cents into $5, I'll take that all day, every day. Don't make it your only source of income, but take it when it's there. Where can I go next? The popular thing, generating traffic to your store. If you find stuff like that, there is a thing called lost leaders. What lost leaders are is something like back in the day, let's say Best Buy, they used to carry CDs. CDs used to actually sell really well, right? Go figure. They would run a sale on CDs where they're going to technically lose money, but their job is to get you in that door. To get you in that door, hoping you'll buy a stereo system to go with that CD, etc., etc. So don't be afraid if you do come across something to use it either as a loss leader to bring people in your store, but you got to be smart about it. It has to be something that's going to generate a lot of traffic, because you don't want to lose money if you're not getting nothing in return. I have no problems losing, $1 on 10 items if I know those 10 items are going to literally bring hundreds of people into my store, because it's that traffic, it's that, getting your name out there, and people see that, hey, he's got this item and it's $10 cheaper than what the next guy is charging. He's got 10 of them and they're selling like hotcakes. That's going to generate likes, people following your store and following what you list to see when that next bargain's going to come. And during that, they may see something else they like and buy it. So that's what a loss leader is. So use those. You got to be very, smart with using that. And then also with the popular item, overpricing it to bring, traffic into your store. But if it's something you don't really want to get rid of, you don't have to, like the shoe. But if it's something you paid 40 cents for and you don't care, mark that price down and get it gone. There's no point hanging on to it. And let me pause this and see if I come up with anything else real quick. Little update about the generating the traffic situation. Starting here, this is what these items going up is stuff that I listed today and I shared on social media. So here's that Tommy Hilfiger white leather vest jacket. Boom, already 88 views, and it's only been up, since this morning. Something maybe that's not as popular, some little poncho thing, 18 views. Sometimes when you list something, you're lucky if you have 2 or 3 views right off the bat. This Wilson leather jacket, 34 views already. Shared on social media. Let's see, NC North, 18 views. North Carolina. Navy Racing, 20 views. Just a simple grandpa sweatshirt. Something a lot of people probably pass up. 22 views. How many of those 22 views clicked onto my store and looked at something else? David Hughes drawing t-shirt, 28 views. Princess Cruises. I always grab cruise line stuff. 22 people. Local Pride, I was speaking of. Chaminade Red Devils, St. Louis High School, 23 views. Stone Temple Pilots shirt just put up, 48 views. So, Vineyard Vines, 30 views. So, and when you get the more views like that, you're going to generate better placement in your store on eBay as a whole when it comes to the best match. So, make sure you set up all that. And it's not hard to do. It's one button right up here. So, pretty simple. So, make sure you do that, set that up. You're going to generate a lot of traffic into your store. So, well, I hope that was something you can use, something you maybe can implement into your store and the way you're running things to help you generate traffic, generate sales. Hopefully there's an idea there for you. I'm not very good with taking notes and creating a structure for a video. So if I watch this and I figured I missed something, I'll make a part 2. Or if you guys have questions, put them down below, and then maybe I'll make a follow-up video to this and get more into details if there's something somebody wants more details on or what have you. Or maybe something I forgot, and maybe I'll dive a little deeper into things. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope that helped you. Share it with people who you think can benefit from it. And happy 4th quarter. Let's get some sales. Let's get some money. Some money. I want some money. You know what I'm talking about, G? What's up?